Here, look at the thumbnail. Maybe you guys have seen it already. This one, it's this Japanese girl who her home is like covered in garbage. And like she does like, I don't know, like random content and stuff. And it's like she'll cook food in this tiny little area of her room that isn't covered in shit. And there's like roaches walking everywhere. And we're watching it.
I figured I would watch this for no
Yeah,
particular
famous for bed rotting.
reason. Just get scissors.
No fear of cockroaches is actually a pretty impressive skill to have. Japan has this lady, we have Asmongold, who's attracted to some... You ever want to...
Wait, what does this chatter mean? Do you think issues like this are being amplified by having your chat as an echo chamber? What is issues like this? What is amplified? What do you mean by these things being related to this echo chamber? What is what like you're going to need to be more specific on all of these fronts because I need to tell you something. I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. All Twitch streams are echo chambers. So basically how Twitch viewership works, viewers go and watch the streamer that they like, that they agree with, and then they keep watching that streamer. This is kind of how it works. I'm sorry to tell you that. But I don't understand more of like, what is issues like this? Do you think like, wait, I don't, huh? I don't, what? Anyways.
want to lay down all day while consuming as much entertainment as possible so you can
do that.
Distract yourself from life, like some sort of weird human baby or a human turned into a worm. It's way easier to do nothing compared to dealing with all your grown-up responsibilities. No one told me about taxes, bills every month, the tedious task of thinking of what to eat every single day for the rest of my life. Sheesh.
Chipotle. Problem solved. I just answered it.
The guy just be a baby again? Unfortunately, that's not a possibility.
Straight up, you know what I hate, guys? You know what I fucking hate? I hate that in the real world, like, I am, like, very low performing, okay? I am, like, I use compostable spoons and forks and plates. And my peak form of fun is sitting in front of my computer for 12 hours a day playing games, okay? Like, I am very low performing in the real world. Like, in the real world, compared to real people, I literally got tired of having to deal with cooking meals because I just couldn't do it all. I couldn't stream as much as I wanted to and get all the work that I needed to get done and keep my apartment clean and take care of my pets and hang out with friends and do all the other random fucking stupid work that I need to do and cook. And that's literally why I started drinking Huel, because I was like, dude, I can't just eat frozen meals because frozen meals don't have enough nutrients and I'm getting like lethargic all day and all night. I need to get something that actually has my fucking vitamins in it. Like, I am low performing in the real world. Like, I am like, if a normal person saw me, they would think I was depressed. And it's really fucked up because in the content world, I'm high performing and it's not okay. It's not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool that high performing in the content world is I care about getting my vitamins and nutrients and staying hydrated. Like, that's a high bar. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Fuck, dude.
Ability for the majority of us until we can figure out how to Benjamin Button ourselves.
That's why you have to be a streamer.
Thing is bed rotting, eh? We're told that if we embrace hustle culture, work really hard, then we can achieve our dreams. The amount of effort you put into your career, the more well off you'll be during retirement age. Your future is created by what you do today, said the president of some country. So why me have
Which, by the way, is true. Like, I know people like to meme on hustle culture and say that it's stupid. But yeah, working hard and working out and eating healthy and trying hard at your job will result at a positive outcome at a higher ratio than not doing those things. Yeah. True.
Graduate degree, but work as barista with no house or car.
No,
this is Patrick.
Well, that's kind of the reality we live in now. The American dream has literally turned into something you can only see when you're dreaming. No matter how many hours you put into your career, how much you invest into your education, which ends up being a piece of paper and bank account jump scare, unless you're born wealthy or with a little bit of nepotism on your side, life's just one long slugfest of working until you're old and then... That's kind of soul crushing. So
can I take shots? Can I take shots at this YouTuber? Very light shots. You can call me a cunt, Mr. YouTuber man, but like millennial YouTuber editing. Zoomers have really made millennial editing evident. Okay. Like, whoo. Anyways, you're allowed to call me a piece of shit, Mr. YouTuber man. I love your video so far. It's great. I love your apartment. It looks very not rotting. Continue, sir.
So taking the...
I don't think that's entirely true. Like, I think that it's true for a lot of people, but for the people that I know that have that mentality in life, I think that if I look at what they've done in their life, it's a lot of nothing.
So here's the problem. Let me explain. Because I don't know enough about the Mr. YouTuber man here, but I know enough about Asmongold to know that he's like a fucking filthy capitalist. And this is what I will tell you. People were meant to do things that make them happy and things that are rewarding and fulfilling. And we can make like a little Venn diagram, right? But like, let's say here on the, what the hell? No. Here on the left, I love Venn diagrams. These circles suck. Come on, Denim, you got it. I feel like Squidward. Bresta. All right. On the left here, you have like things that bring you joy. And on the right here, you have work, right? And the problem with joy is like, if you just do things that make you happy, eventually all of those things get boring. If anyone here has spent like a month on their computer before just playing one shithole game, it gets boring and then you just get fucking depressed. I'm saying this from personal experience. I wasn't in school, I wasn't working, and I did nothing but play MMOs for 2 months straight, and I literally, like, at the end of it, I didn't know what joy was. Like, I didn't know what it was. I was like, I haven't felt a positive emotion in weeks. And the problem with work is it's so debilitating. All of your money goes to some piece of shit boss. You hate your coworkers. You hate everything about your life. Okay. You have to work so many hours for shit pay, no vacation days, and you're doing it just so that you could fucking live. Right. The reality is that people were meant to sit right here. Right. That the ideal area, honestly, not even like right here. The reality is like, this is like the golden zone, right? Why does this, I don't like the way this looks. And people were meant to experience what this has to offer. This section right here. You're supposed to do some number of things that bring you joy and some number of things that are work that you don't like to do, like putting away the dishes and doing laundry and whatever. And most of your time is supposed to be doing things that bring you joy, but things that are ventures of labor. So when I say work, I need you guys to understand, I'm not saying like you need to be spending your time enjoying picking up garbage. No. I'm talking about things that fulfill you, that give you purpose, that are labor, that you enjoy. So art, for example, if anyone in here does art, anyone in here is an artist, it's work. Your hand is like tired at the end of like a few hours of drawing, or maybe I just have terrible fucking hand posture. It's work. It's exhausting. It's really tiring. You fucking sit there with your stupid fucking pen. It hurts your hand, But at the end of it, you feel so fulfilled when you create something you love. You're like, oh, hell yeah. And then you spend some amount of time doing stuff that you don't like, I don't know, replying to emails and whatever. And you spend some time doing things that are not fulfilling, but, they're just fun to do. Like taking a walk in the park or whatever. And you're supposed to spend, I would say, like 80% of your time doing things that fall into both things that bring you joy and things that are work. And then maybe 10% doing what you things that are just happy for you, and then 10% doing actual work. Like that's a good balance of things, right? Gardening for me, yeah. So people here who like gardening, at the end of like, I don't know what gardeners call it, a gardening session, you're pretty fucking tired afterward because you've been carrying soil around and mulch, and you're sitting there fucking putting together 2x4s and planting, and it's hot outside. But when you finish the work, you're like, wow, I did that. Oh my God, I created something. And it's that disconnect with labor. This is why factory work is so fucking demoralizing. Because you are separated from the end product. You're only there for this piece of shit mundane aspect of just like, I have to put this fucking thingy-majiggy on this thingy. And then I never get to see what the end looks like. So you never feel that joy that you created something. Like carpentry is something that is a lot of labor, very labor intensive, very exhausting. And there are lots of people who get into woodworking for fun because it is fulfilling for your soul to have created something. Right? It is not fulfilling to just, you have to put this piece of wood on this piece of wood in the factory, and then you go home after your factory shift. And now I would say that like most people probably benefit from this. In my opinion, there's also like a second type of person, a secret second type of person of like, I don't really care. I'm cool with having a work-life balance. I don't really need something that brings me joy that is labor. I'm down to like show up at work, sit on my office chair, sit there for like 8 hours, go home and spend the rest of the time relaxing. That's cool with me. I feel like I'm one of those people, but I also am. This is still, I think, the ideal. Because I mean, I went and got an accounting degree because I don't mind that type of lifestyle. I don't mind that life balance, right? But I also still intrinsically want this, which is why I got into content, because it's the creative aspect of creating content and making things that people like that brings me a sense of fulfillment. And you will never experience the same fulfillment in like something like gardening or woodworking that you will like watching Netflix. Watching Netflix is never going to give you a sense of purpose. It is never going to fulfill you. There is no amount of it that will fulfill you. Filmmaking, however, that might fulfill you. I think the best example is like maybe like D&D. Where D&D, there's enough labor being put into it that it doesn't, and there's enough creative energy being put into it that you actually feel like there is something at the end that you made, that you worked on, that was a collaborative effort with these other people. That does feel fulfilling. And obviously this labor / fulfilling thing is going to be different for every person. And I don't claim to know what every person is like. But this is the major problem nowadays is that too many people think grindset mindset means you spend 99% of your time doing demoralizing labor. And they're like, wait, that wouldn't make me happy. Yeah, of course it wouldn't make you happy. It definitely would not make you happy. And anyone who says otherwise is fucking lying to you. It's that if you spent 99% of your time doing things that are labor, but are like creative ventures and when I say creative ventures, I don't mean it has to be like art or writing. I mean like coding can be a creative venture. Putting together a code that does something that you want to do, that you set out to make something, and then you get something at the end of it. Doing like writing physics papers. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be something that like artsy. It can be something, like cooking is another one as well. Like cooking, baking, whatever, any of those things. At the end of the thing, you feel like you made something that you can be proud of, even just a little bit. And if you spent most of your time doing this and not just spending most of your time consuming like dopamine garbage, Straight up, dude, the people who keep like watch a lot of reality TV, it's like, oh man, there's a cap to how much reality TV could benefit your life. There's a cap. Definitely there's a cap. At a certain point, it's just like, dude, I'm just consuming slop. I'm straight up consuming slop. I found the Kamala alt. Anyways, yeah. So spending a lot of time being on your grind set only works if you actually like the thing you're doing even a little bit. Otherwise, being on your grind set, it's just going to make you depressed at the end of it.
Like, they really just didn't put in a lot of work and effort into things, or they aren't really, like they're not hard workers. And that's it. It's not true. There's a lot of people that grow up and they come from, you know, maybe not the Section 8 housing, but they come from humble beginnings and they work hard and they have good jobs and they're successful. It happens very commonly. It doesn't happen all the time. And it doesn't guarantee it. But it certainly happens a lot more than not doing it. But I can see where people come from, right? Because it's like, there's some people that see that and they're not getting the results that they want. Now, is it their fault or not? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter from their perspective, because if they feel like they're not getting the results they want, then they start losing interest with reality.
Entire day off from time to time to rest and not think about 1,000 things at once helps us avoid burning out. The best feeling is working really hard, then taking 1 to 2 days off with your brain turned off to do nothing. Although bed rotting is a trendy activity we've been seeing that goes further than a day of self-care. You're in your room, laying in bed all day, except you're not sleeping, but doing passive activities to avoid life, like scrolling on your phone, watching movies, counting the pores on the ceiling. Think of it as stress-inducing procrastination, where instead of relaxing at a spa, you're closing your eyes so you don't notice that the building is actually on fire. You can find a lot of content from Gen Z and millennials sharing their bed rotting experiences, either for clout and views since it's trendy to do so, or to connect with others who are going.
This is straight up depression. I had this for like 2 days, and then I started a new Baldur's Gate playthrough, and then I felt better. Like, if you are gonna engage in a task that is a dopamine fest, it has to be something that you're an active participant in. This shit is crazy, dude, that people do this. I did this for 2 days. I installed TikTok again. I was like, this time I'm going to get into TikTok. I'm going to become a TikTok girly. And when people reference TikToks they've seen, I'm going to be like, you know, I have seen that one. I actually do know who Chappelle Roan is. Yeah, I keep up with the times. I was like, this is going to be the one. And I literally was so depressed. I was like, I guess I'll go lay in the bed. Chappelle, sorry. I guess I'll go lay on the couch. I guess I'll go lay on the bed. I was losing my mind. I was like, I want to explode, actually. Holy shit. This sucks. It's chapel. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? When people talk about pop culture with me, I'm so cooked. I'm so cooked. Okay, who cares? I do. I want friends. Okay, and then when my friends talk about things, I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. I don't know these names. I don't know these actors. I don't know these directors. I don't know these singers. I don't know what the fuck you're talking in a different language. Oh my god. Anyways. What do you think of Chappelle Rowan? Stop. Standing up to fans for stalking her pictures. Dude, I saw that. I'm like 50-50 on it. It feels like the reality is if you have any success at all, you're not allowed to complain or criticize anyone around you. It's just like the Britney Spearsification of 2020. Like, people thought it was fine. Like, people straight up paparazzi stalking people like Britney Spears in her house, taking pictures of her, putting it in tabloids, just causing as much mental distress on this pop star because, well, she's rich and famous. It's fine. And then finally we were like, oh, that's bad. Just because this person is like rich and famous, it doesn't suddenly make harassing them okay. That's kind of fucked up. And we're going to go through that again as well, where people are going to talk about their experiences and people are going to get shit on for a while. And then finally, after like years, people will be like, actually, we shouldn't be treating people that way. I think Lily Pichu had a video, not a video, she made a tweet about that where she said she was at a cafe with some friends and this fan like tapped her on the shoulder and was like, hey, can I get a picture? And she was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm busy right now. And he just stood there and then like waited like a minute and then he tapped her on the shoulder again and was like, can I get a picture? And she said, I'm sorry. I'm busy. I'm sorry. I'm having dinner with a friend. I'm busy. And then he stood there and he tapped her on the shoulder again after another minute and was like, can I get a picture? And until she was like, okay, sure. And it's like, hey man, I get that she's like rich and famous and whatever. And like, you know, you can hate the rich and want to eat them or whatever, but like, that's weird to do that. That's weird to do that. And that's weird to treat people like that, regardless of who they are. Who is this? Lily Pichu. She had a post on her Twitter documenting this experience and saying like, maybe we just shouldn't be fucking weird. Maybe we could just be a little normal. Maybe. As an idea. Hi, Salty Sandals. Let's see if I can. I don't think I'll be able to find it because it was like 2 weeks ago or something. Oh, wait, I actually found it. Lily Pichu talking about it. I don't have nearly this amount of fame, but I remember once I was sitting down eating and talking and someone tapped me on the shoulder for a picture and I said, sorry, not right now. And then they tapped again and I said the same thing and he kept tapping. So eventually I just stood up and took the picture. And it's like, you can, it's the same sort of thing with like Hassan trying to talk about how like he is mentally exhausted after streaming, that like, I'm telling you guys without fail, as someone who has hung out with streamers, who's stayed over at streamers' places, who's had streamers stay over here, every single streamer, when they end stream, they spend an hour just rotting. And they're like, I'm sorry. Let me learn how to socialize again. One sec. It doesn't, at no point did any streamer say it's harder than a real job or it's the hardest job that has ever existed in the entirety of the planet. It's, yeah, for me, this job has been like the most exhausting. For me, this has been the most socially draining. And people were like, how dare you fucking complain? Your life is so much better. We would trade in a heartbeat. That means you are never allowed to complain. You fucking suck it up and deal with the dog shit that comes with it. And it's like, okay, sorry, I guess. My bad, I guess. I won't do it again. Sorry. Bizarre. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. I have that after teaching a 2-hour class. Yeah. This is from the vintage Winter Hassan collection of drama. Yeah. Sorry, let's get back to the garbage.
What is the trend? This is how it can look. Yeah, it's about right. I mean, she's still pretty young, probably, that's got this here, because, like, look at all these pencils and shit, right? So she's probably in school or
pencils? She must be still pretty young.
Some shit.
Everybody knows only young people have pencils in their home.
Through something similar. There's been a shift in the
excellent deduction, Sherlock.
public sentiment from this being a quirky activity to this isn't good. It depends on the severity. A little bit of bed rotting can just be someone taking time off, but extreme levels can be linked with someone who's mentally unwell, especially when you see rooms that don't have floors anymore.
Who would do that? Who would possibly do it? Wow, this is so bad.
Mobile viewers, if you're on mobile, do not look at the screen right now. It is a bowl that has mold in it. And it's a TikTok that says, been cleaning my depression room and I found this mold in a plate. And it's, imagine pouring yourself a bowl of soup, except the soup is mold.
With so much junk. And the bowls and dishes with old food in them started making their own clothes to wear.
Bed rotting is a trend where you just kind of enjoy the time that you have in your bed.
You can see this person right here on TikTok who made a video about their...
Yup.
They
Who would
have
do
cups
this?
laying around their room
That's
just
disgusting.
filled with mold because they're just bed rotting. All of these cups, Chick-fil-A containers, all of this stuff has just been piling up because all they do is lay in their bed all day.
I know we shouldn't eat mold, but why it look like I kind of want to eat it? We shouldn't be glamorizing
They're not
this
that
behavior,
good, trust me.
but focus on curbing it instead by sharing tips or showing our progress when we finally decide to clean our rooms.
Here's what you're gonna do if you've already rotted half the day away and you kind of regret it.
So that was a little taste of bed rotting in the West. Now in Asia...
See, for me, like, I have a lot of days where I do that. I do, and like I will have days where it's like a vacation. I take a vacation from life. I don't call anybody. I don't answer anybody's calls. I can't do this as much anymore. And I think that it's had a negative effect on my psyche too. Like back before I had as many responsibilities as I do now, I actually had a lot of cases where I would be able to spend like a week or a few days away from other people, and I would come back a better person because I just can't be around people that much. It makes me insane. It makes me psychotic. Yeah, it must be nice. Yeah, and now it's way, way, way worse. And so for me, like, yeah, I think that like some of this is healthy, but it's like it's one of these things where it's always like self-indulgence is the problem, right? Where it's like you're doing it all the time. That's the issue.
This isn't just a concerning phase anymore. A few cups with moldy drink in them is nothing compared to the DIY hill you made in your own home out of trash. I like sledding on a fluffy white hill as much as the next person, but this seems like a biohazard. There are two content creators from Japan that kept popping up on my timeline who have quite the interesting following. The first one is Haritsu, an Indonesian college dropout living in Japan who's known for cooking food that is well beyond its expiration date, eating it, and somehow surviving. And we're not talking about a yogurt that's a few days past its best before date. I saw this man take...
Yeah, I've never really done this before. I'm very much the kind of guy that if something is out of date by one day, I will not eat it.
He's like, Asmongold is like Gucci rotting. I totally believe him. I totally believe him. He's just like, I'm too high class for that. Okay? I'll eat it off of the floor, but it's expired. It's one day. I have standards. Thank you very much.
Like, this is the one thing that I actually am very, very specific about.
Resident Evil looking rice from underneath the sink, give it a bath, then make...
That's rice. I thought that was mashed potatoes.
Get into a somewhat decent looking dish.
Yeah.
You would have never known how old and how unrefrigerated his ingredients were. This is a health inspector's nightmare. If they went inside his house, they would cry, fail him, and then shut down.
Dude, he's got a million parasites in his body.
The kitchen. This isn't
I'm
even
pretty sure he has every parasite in his body.
Restaurant. At least he's not wasteful.
Chubby emu video incoming.
The second creator is Shiro.
Yeah, that's not really so bad. I mean, like I've seen people that eat nasty stuff like that before. It's like it's whatever. Cause like you're gonna heat up a lot of that and it's gonna burn off the mold, etc. And so yeah, it's not.
Burn off the mold? That's not how that. What the fuck are you talking? What do you mean burn off the mold? Huh?
That bad. You made this trend, man. It's your fault.
No, man. No. No. That's in reference to like meat products that have parasites in them or could have parasites or salmonella in them. So like chicken, you don't really have to sorry, let me start over. This comes up in the conversation of washing chicken. Do not wash your chicken. If you currently wash your chicken, stop washing your chicken. You're splashing chicken juices all over your sink, and it is a nightmare what you're fucking doing. any dirtiness or bacteria or whatever that's on your chicken that you're worried about, cooking it will kill all of that bacteria. Putting it in a 400-degree oven will kill that bacteria. You don't have to worry about that. This doesn't apply to mold. This applies to like, how safe is your food to eat? If you're cooking it at 400 degrees for like 30 minutes or whatever, I don't know, it's okay. It's all good. Because anything that's there that would have hurt you, the bacteria died inside because there's no bacteria that can live at that temperature. Okay? Oh, what the hell? Why did my light just blast me? Who turned on the light? Ah. I just got flashbanged. Sorry. This is like a pretty like dog shit light that I've had for years. I've had this for like 5 years. So sometimes randomly it turns on and sometimes randomly it flashbangs me. By the way, I'm new to your stream. I'm not sure what I joined into. Good stuff. Good stuff. The bacteria is inside the chicken. You weren't listening to what I said. I was talking about people who wash their chicken because they're like, I need to wash off the dirt and like the bacteria. Obviously, the bacteria that you actually care about is going to be inside the chicken. I'm saying, don't wash your chicken. You don't need to wash your chicken. It's clean. And anything on it or in it that's not clean that you're trying to wash off it'll sterilize. It'll get sterilized in the oven. You don't need, in fact, washing it is bad. It's not a neutral action. It is bad because you're splashing all of this raw chicken juice all over your fucking sink.
Oh.
Are you playing the new monkey game on Not Denims? No, we still have to finish Elden Ring first.
I do think that, like, I mean, this girl's 1999, right? So that means that she's
sorry, I always want to make sure I'm not friendly firing any chatters. So I just wanted to say I wasn't trying to attack you or anything, just to be very clear. If you were saying that the bacteria is inside the chicken in reference to the people who wash the chicken, saying like, what the fuck are you doing washing it? The bacteria you should care about is inside, then I agree with you. I agree with you. I wasn't trying to like put you on blast or anything. No friendly fire. Just, yeah. Okay, good.
Like 24 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, I basically, I was doing that 25. Yeah, either way. Yeah, no, definitely some of these people could have grown up seeing me and Asmongold's lair and been like, wow, you were one of the first people to do this. Yeah, like I released.
What the fuck? Why is he the way he's saying it? It's almost like a point of pride. He literally said, "Yeah, I'm an influencer. I influence people to rot." What the hell?
Asmongold's lair when this girl was 11. Oh my god, that's fucked up. I could have done this.
Kumatian Daisuke 1999, who's infamous for living in a home covered in trash while sharing this small space with a lot of roommates. Sure, times are tough and we gotta do what we gotta do, but it's like more than a reasonable amount of people. Between all of them, there's at least 1,000 legs, 1,000 arms, bugs. Her roommates are bugs.
Just get scissors.
Damn, if all these uninvited guests
No, not right now.
showed up in my home, I would have to put on a full production of Stomp, or at least a K-pop fan cam from Inkigayo.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so like I straight up have like roach trauma. Finally, this is the therapy section of the stream where I pretend like you guys are my therapist. Where I had older siblings that bullied the shit out of me. Okay. And we lived in a New York apartment, which meant every few years, randomly, there would be a roach infestation. And we would deal with the roach infestation. But for a short period of time, every like 5 or 10 years, we would have roaches. And my siblings would throw the roaches at me. And I have never emotionally recovered. I've like never recovered. Like all other bugs, I'm basically fine with. Like I don't like things that fly close to my face, obviously, you know, like bees or fruit flies or flies, but like I feel like that's like biologically programmed into you to like swat things that are flying near your face for like safety and health reasons. But like I'm fine with spiders. I'm down to help spiders get out. I'm honestly fine with like centipedes. I'm fine with like I used to pick up ants. Like ants are really cute to me. Obviously not like red ants, but like just like normal little ants. I think ants are really cute. I'm fine with bugs. Like I'm really fine with bugs. And roaches, I have like giga trauma. I have so much roach trauma. Like roach trauma, like I see a roach, it moves, and I like jump. Why is it so obvious that you're fine with centipedes? What does that mean? I don't like the way you said that. This is the type of phenomenon that happened to Nikocado Avocado. The internet fame encourages this behavior. Correct. Absolutely correct. Centipedes are terrifying. Okay, wait, just to be very clear, okay, I'm a weak American bitch-ass bitch. So when I talk about centipedes, I am not talking about those fucking South American centipedes. Okay? I'm talking about the tiny house centipedes. And I think in my head, I think about the house centipedes and they're like their friend. They hide. They don't want to be like around you. They fuck up like other bugs. Like they're chill. They're cool, but they're fine. I guess they're called like house centipedes or what are the millipedes or whatever. I take them out. You said you like to pet them? No, I like ants. I think holding ants is cute. Ants are really cute creatures. But like I take the centipedes outside. I take the like spiders outside. Basically, regardless of what the bug is, I take it outside. Like roaches, I'm like terrified. I just like don't want to deal with it. I like have so much roach trauma. I have so much roach trauma. I hate roaches so bad. I feel bad because they're like living creatures. And they're just like another part of our ecosystem, but I fucking despise those disgusting things. And then like, in my opinion, I'm legally allowed to hate mosquitoes because like, they're smoking with me. You know, they're like ants ain't trying to do shit to me. They're just like, hey, I saw you left some food out. You mind if I take some to my colony? No. We're good. Can I get some of your food, man? You got a lot of it. Like I saw your fridge. That's enough to feed my colony for like 8 generations. Can I have some? It's like, fuck, man. I respect that. Like, like you just want some food for his commune. Like, I get it, man. I can't hate. I can't hate. You gonna finish that, man? Roaches. Roaches be like, you're trapped in here with me. And then with mosquitoes, it's like, dude, you're literally trying to steal and siphon my blood. It's on site. Okay, it's on. I killed a mosquito the other day. It was sucking on my ass. Sounded wrong. I was like, felt so good. It felt so good. Oh, yes. But like, you're scrapping with me. I can scrap back legally, okay? Legally, that's like, you know, you put hands on me first, so.
No fear of cockroaches is actually a pretty impressive skill to have. Japan has this lady, we have Asmongold, who's attracted to some...
Cameron, thank you so much for the prime.
Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go.
My videos.
I have.
I kind of feel like that roach that was in his house.
Get him out of me. What are you doing, bro? Get out of my...
But wow, those moldy cups are basically a cute little garnish compared to living with 5,000 freeloading roommates that don't pay rent. At least they don't take up
I had a spider that was in my kit. It was in my my bathtub. And yeah, he's just there. I think that there's actually 2 of them. They were really big too. I took a picture of them.
Yeah, but like spiders are friends. And spiders eat the other bugs. So like, unless it's one of the spiders that you have to be worried about, like, nah, spiders are just kind of like, they're just buddies. They're just friends, man. They're helping. They're like your own personal janitor. They're like, oh, I saw you got some food. Oh, sorry. You got some flies around here. You mind if I eat that shit? You're not gonna eat that, are you? Cool. I got it. Don't worry. I'm housekeeping, actually. My name's Charlotte. Yeah, I got it.
It's like, it's hard to really kind of show, because like a bathtub, it's like, how big is a bathtub to like contextualize it? But it was about the size of... here, this is perfect. It was this. About the size of this. Yeah. Like legs included, right? Legs included, like spread out.
Wait, what? What? Did you say the spider was that big? How does it get in? How do you even get a spider that big that gets... How does it get in? I feel like I'd take scarlet rot damage walking into Asmon's house. He raised it. But how does it get in? You have screen doors. Does he not have screens? Start small? How small does it start? Like the size of what? Like a grain of rice? Like how small? What's the spider name? What's it called?
This man painted the matador on his wall with his tooth blood, and you're all laughing at him? So much for supporting artists.
That spider has tenant rights. It can come in smaller, like a poppy seed.
You know, ready to go. You kill them? Yeah, I just smashed them. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's just a spider. Like, what the fuck's he gonna do? Spiders are helpful? Yeah, that's...
Dude, spiders are your friends. Just let them out, man.
That's what I thought. But then there's a wasp, like, 3 days ago.
Okay, well, wasps can eat shit and die.
Like, yeah, like, well, where the fuck was he? Like, we had a good thing going here, you know? And then you fucked this up? Now there's a wasp? Bro, you had your chance. You had to come out. Yeah, no, well, what I do with the spiders is that I try to kill them, but if the spider gets away one time, I let the spider live. Because I feel like he's passed, you know?
A room, because they sleep on the walls. That being said, I'm not 100% sure if this content is made by people who are actually going through something, or if it's manufactured for engagement and views. We'll look into how all these topics tie in with each other. Why is this letting your living space turn into a landfill phenomenon so much more severe in Asia? Well, let's talk about their work culture and how intense it can be compared to our silly little corporate errands and elite employee bosses. In China, the belief is that the harder you work, the more will pay off. You put in 40 years of working.
I catch wasps and I release them back outside. They're like a passive yet not so passive defense around the house. Dude, I wonder if you could like get like a small like net. Like a small cage. Like imagine a small bird cage, but with like mesh netting, right? And you fill it with wasps and you like feed the wasps. And then if you ever see like an intruder on your like ring or whatever, like you ever see like a dude that's like wearing a ski mask or something, you're like, release the wasps. That would work way better than a gun, actually. I'm gonna say it, dude. Drop the wasp bucket. That guy's leaving. He's leaving. He's not gonna invade your home. He's like, dude, what the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Go, my scarabs. Denims the druid with a wasp grenade? Yeah. Wait, it would work, right? But then your home would be filled with wasps? No, like, you know those, like, home invader cameras or whatever that show when there's someone at your door? And it's like, a person has been spotted outside and you can check your camera. And if it looks like an invader, you can just, like, send out the wasps. And they'll never know. They'll never know. That would work. That would totally work, dude. So smart, a wasp cage? Dude, I'm reinventing security detail. I am reinventing it. Even if most wasps are chill, the people are going to run for the hills. You see more than 5 wasps drop on you immediately, you're running. You're running, dude. What if we gave the wasps guns? Okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Camera with built-in wasp nest. Release the wasps from motion detected. Anyways, sorry.
Working really hard, and the fruits of your labor should show that. Which was true many decades ago when the economy was thriving. There wasn't as much competition in the market. You could buy home, car, purse, family, working the same job for your entire life. Now, you'd be lucky to even afford one of these things. The 996 culture became a normal way of living, where you work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Putting in your 40 hours a week is child's play compared to this. You're expected to live this way if you want to be successful. If you don't want to conform though, that's totally fine. Someone else that's younger and less tired will take your place in a heartbeat. The Asian workforce is so competitive.
Companies outraged netizens say jail is better than work. Yep, there it is. I mean, for me, like...
I love the matter-of-fact way that he speaks. Yep, there it is. Yeah.
Like, no, what about mosquitoes? Oh, I swear to God, I know people might not believe this, but I've seen mosquitoes bite me and die.
That I must have misheard that.
Die. But I've seen mosquitoes bite me and die.
I'd like to imagine like 2 mosquitoes. They're like yapping, they're chatting, they're hanging out. They're like, you know, look at that guy. He's just sitting there, unaware. You wanna get his ass? And the other mosquito's like, you go first, man. No, I'll let you get this first sip. He's like, oh, thanks, man. You're such a cool homie. One sec. Takes like 1 sip. Flies away. Bro! Bro, he's more soda than water. He got no blood in there. It's like, are you good, man? What's wrong? The mosquito just fucking dies. And the mosquito runs for the hills. He's like, I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen that in my life. Dude, they need to study. I'm telling you guys, they need to study Asmongold. We can find the cure. It's the vaccine for mosquitoes. We can cure we can end malaria today. Jerry, look at me breathe. Jerry.
Like, just straight up, like, I've seen them just like bite me. They've flown around after like 10 minutes.
This is the first mosquito. Oh gosh.
The mosquito dies. And so, see another doctor? Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what it is.
This is on the level with like that brainworm eating RFK's brain and then dying.
And encourage their employees to reveal their punch-in hours like a badge of honor. Whoever is the most overworked gets the praise. If you're working the minimum amount of hours required while having a healthy work-life balance, boo! Well, putting in overtime.
Sounds like a loser to me.
Doing? This expectation that you need to dedicate your entire life to work for a mediocre life is causing younger generations to realize, bruh, this sucks. It's
well, like this is always the way it was. Like, peasants would have this happen back into 1500.
Oh shit, the mold roller coaster, wait.
except for instead of retiring, the Lord would conscript them to go to war against the other Lord that they had like a disagreement like 5 years ago. Okay. And so then they just kill each other, and that's about it. Like it's actually always been like this.
Dude, I am a fan. I'm totally a fan at this point, dude. I love the total shit show mess of like Asmongold. It's just I'm the mold roller coaster where it's like he says something and you're like, oh my god, he's about to say something so base, and then it immediately goes downhill. You're like, okay, got it, excellent. And then it stays here, and then it happens again. It's so fun. It is so fun. I love it so much. Oh my god, this is my reality TV. This is like my Kim Kardashians. I'm not even joking with you guys. You know, to talk about how let me go back to the original video 1 second.
If you're working the minimum amount of hours required while having a healthy work-life balance, boo! Well, putting in overtime.
Sounds like a loser to me.
Doing? This expectation that you need to dedicate your entire life to work for a mediocre life is causing younger generations to realize, bruh, this sucks. It's
well, like this is all.
So the main YouTuber is basically talking about the fact that selling your soul away and selling your labor and your body to some fucking corporo so that they can squeeze you dry of as much profit as possible, that they can abuse you so that they can line their pockets and you can live a shit life. And God forbid you suggest life should be better for you for even a moment. You're clearly a communist that doesn't understand the value of labor, right? Asmongold hits us with this is like how it was with like servants and like serfs and poor people who worked under lords.
Always the way it was. Like peasants would have this happen back into 1500.
And it's like, oh yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, this is true. Yeah, this is how it was. Yeah, you would be a peasant. My lord, may I have 1 gold piece to feed my family? No. You work as hard as you can, as much as you can, and hope that your lord is generous enough to let you keep what you earned. It's like, oh shit, dude, he's about to teach us something. He's about to be spitting. He's about to be, dude, he's about to say something crazy. And then he talks about like peasants fighting each other for their lords or something. Like, what the fuck?
Hundreds, except for instead of retiring, the Lord would conscript them to go to war against the other Lord that they had like a disagreement like 5 years ago. And so then they just kill each other, and that's about it. Like it's actually always been like this.
Yeah, and then it's the way that he says it to reinforce that there's nothing you can or should do about it. This is just how it's always been. Yeah, the idea is like lords are making these geriatric fuckers duke it out.
It has been, yeah, and like that's fucked, yeah, and like then or maybe they just decide to kill you because why not? Yeah, feudal times are the best. Well, yeah, you need a war? No. I mean, you could figure out other reasons to kill people. You didn't just need a war. But yeah.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Watching the starry-eyed graduate who's excited to join the workforce turn into the bitter, jaded employee who's ready to retire in the span of 5 years instead of 50 years. You know what you get after working 50 years for a company nowadays? An email.
50 years, 7-Eleven.
Bro's trying to dumb it down so much in hopes that he can understand it himself. It's amazing. I love it so much.
In 2022, a term called bailan started trending in Chinese online gaming communities, which translates to laying flat and lowering one's goals. Basically saying, no thanks, I think I'll pass on this crazy work lifestyle. There's a lot of talented, hardworking people out there who want to make their career the main focus of their lives. But not everyone has to live like that, right? What's the point in working so hard if we're going to stress ourselves out until we develop health issues? We're still going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel while the rich get even richer.
This is, I think, the reason why people are upset about it. It's because like I work pretty often too, right? I don't really take days off of streaming. Like for example, like after
you guys are so much funnier than me. I saw this chatter. I thought, is that bounty still on? And my first thought was to be like, bro, the bounty will never be filled because people like you keep thinking it's about Asmongold. I would never put a bounty on Asmongold. He's too entertaining. Are you crazy? It was always about someone else, but people like you don't have any reading comprehension, so we'll never get the bounty fulfilled. because you guys spread so much misinfo about this. But you guys are way funnier than me because this was a much better response. Yes, but now the bounty is to clean Asmon's house. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry that I was not hating. No, you're good, man. You're good. Please, no, you're good.
After I do my stream today.
Gigaspud, thank you for the 6 months. Hold up, what was he saying?
Said about it. It's because like I work pretty I work pretty often too, right? I don't really take days off of streaming. Like for example, like after I do my stream today, like I have to.
People told Hassan about it. He couldn't even believe it. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Gigaspud, thank you so much for the tier 1 for 6 months. Thank you. Moonchief, thank you so much for the tier 1.
Like go grocery shopping, and at the same time I'm grocery shopping, I also have to be part of a meeting, and after that meeting I have to do another meeting after that with somebody else for something separate, and then after that I'll probably call my dad and check in with him and see if he's good. And this is something that I do every single day. But the difference is that I feel like one of the big differences for me is that number one, I'm doing a lot of it on my own time, and like for example, like I don't have to drive somewhere. I can do what I want to do, you know, like for the most part, like whenever I want to do it. And also I'm making a lot of money from it too. And so there's like a freedom that it provides me. Now that freedom isn't really as important anymore because I've already kind of like hit that threshold. But, you know, for me, I think it's about people. A big thing I think is it's about that the time worked is a big factor. But I think what is an equal factor for a lot of people is the fact that they don't really feel like they're getting any value out of the time that they're working. Like they're putting in, I think that's how burnout happens. Burnout doesn't happen from working a lot. Burnout happens from working a lot and getting a little.
The mold roller coaster. It's exciting. This one actually went somewhere. It was like the roller coaster normally is like this. This one was actually like salient. It was like, wait, wait, it was spinning. Okay. Oh. But it's also like the most basic concept on the planet. Like, yes, people have always been in the situation of having their labor exploited, right? But most people are okay with, and they will deal with having their labor exploited if it means they can continue living the lifestyle they already have. Change is hard. Living your current life is much easier. And people are down to continue to live their current life if their life is good enough, right? And for a very long time, Americans, you know, I mean, Americans, it's a capitalist country. America has always been exploiting labor. But a lot of Americans for a very long time felt like their labor was rewarded. You got to bring home a paycheck, have a savings account, go out on the weekends and hang out with friends and meet people, and still have enough disposable income to like maybe go on a vacation or something. Like, this is like for white people, white straight cis people in like from like I would say like the 50s till like the probably early 90s. Because Reagan policies took a while before they started getting bad, even if they were enacted before then. And so all like that 5-6 decade period of time, people felt rewarded by their labor. You got hired by a company, you stayed at that company basically your whole life, you got promotions, you got raises, and you got to build a savings account and go on vacation and enjoy life, right? And now it feels like everybody can't pay for groceries because companies are literally price gouging. I mean, I can't believe anyone called this communism. I can't believe anyone called Kamala Harris's policy communism when Kroger executive admits company gouged prices above inflation. A top company leader at Kroger has admitted during an antitrust trial that the company did in fact gouge prices on select items above inflation levels. While testifying to an FTC attorney on Tuesday, Kroger's senior director for pricing, Andy Groff, said that the grocery giant had raised the price for eggs and milk beyond inflation levels. You remember when eggs were like $500? This is not surprising at all. Drew Powers, the founder of Illinois-based Powers Financial Group, told Newsweek companies across multiple industries have been posting record profits since COVID-19, while consumers have faced the highest inflation in recent history. The math can only point to companies raising prices above the general level of inflation. As the old saying goes, never let a good crisis go to waste. Select equals all of the above items. Yeah. Why did I bring that up? Oh, yeah. Consumers nowadays are like so unbelievably fucked because every company is just one massive conglomerate that can just do whatever the fuck they want. So the companies hire you, pay you garbage. You can't do anything because every other company doesn't exist. And then they charge you $1 billion for basic necessities. And if that wasn't bad enough, guess what? You can't afford your rent either. Oh, you want health insurance? Go fuck yourself. And like the more this shit stacks, the worse these conditions get, the more people look around and realize, wait, my life fucking sucks. Whereas when rent is a little expensive, but everything else is fine, it's easy to ignore because, again, change is hard. You kind of stay in the state that you're in, and you want to stay in the state that you're in. But when maybe your health insurance is a little expensive, it's fine. Maybe school is a little expensive, it's fine. When all of these things combine, it's like, oh, wait, my life sucks. Wait, this is shit.
D&M Dankies.
But look at these chatters. Like, this is like the average Asmongold viewer. Not average, but I would say there's a huge subset that are like this. The young generation just doesn't like to work. Let's be honest. This is like Boomer who ruined our country, who likes to say, weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. And they have no idea that they are the weak men that created hard times. Like, totally oblivious. Pretty sure Asmon doesn't have that take, though. That's why I didn't say it was Asmon's take. That's why I said there's a subset of his viewers that have this take. CT5, thank you for the 19 months. Thank you. I mean, Asmongold knows young people. He knows that young people aren't fucking lazy. He knows the young people in his personal life.
So doing just enough to get by.
And content creators, I know it's like a weird idea, but like a lot of most content creators that get into content, they get into it young because you have a lot of like creative energy. You haven't been beaten down by the world yet. And most content creators that start, they spend a lot of hours in this venture. Like Jinxie, he was like streaming like 250 hours every day. Well, sorry, every day. Oh my God, wait, sorry. every month. Sorry, my bad. It was like an absurd amount. He was streaming like 12 hours a day, every day for like a month to 0 viewers for years. Like, Asmongold personally knows lots of young content creators who were putting in as much time as they could because they really wanted to make something work. This idea that, like, he thinks that young people just don't want to work is fucking stupid. There's no way he thinks this. That's way too dumb.
Might be a better option for some, and there's less risk of getting burnt out. Basically, keep your expectations low for everything you do in life. Japan also has a similar working culture. It's based on intense commitment, ethics, and extreme dedication to the company you're working for. If you're just starting out in the workforce, they have a strict hierarchy system you need to follow. If the boss says, put on a furry suit and start serving your country, then you better start learning that K-pop choreo ASAP.
Good
also,
for you.
I think I'm going through a phase right now. There have been one too many furry references in my videos recently. You also need to show that you're a team player.
No, it's not his fault. Like, there's too many furries in general. Furries are getting too popular. People getting too cavalier with this furry shit. I'll tell you that.
By drinking with your coworkers every night. How does that show you're a team player? Well, it's all about tradition and conformity. If you're the only one
some people is like, oh, banned of people saying work to discredit your work as a streamer. It's not relevant to me whether somebody says that what I'm saying is what I do is work or not. It's not important to me. Like, I don't need anybody else's validation for like whether my job is hard or easy or whether what I'm doing is actual work or work.
Whether my job is actual work or work.
If my idea of a job was breaking into people's cars and stealing all of their stuff out of their car and then selling it, and I made as much money and I could get away, I'd just do that.
What an insane example to use. What a wild example to use. That's just like the most insane, what the hell? You know, I could think of other jobs I would have, like breaking into people's car and selling it. I would do that. What the hell? Where did that come from?
Like, I don't have any ego about this. Like, I don't care. I just am doing whatever I can to make money. Like, I just, yeah.
Hey, capitalist.
I don't care about, like, oh, the value of the work and, like, what this is doing for the world. Like, I don't give a fuck about, well, I don't care about that. Never cared about that. So, like, about, like, it being a job and, like, oh, well, it's like, this is the, you know, you have to justify it. It's like, oh, well, I'm really working. Like, I don't care about that at all. Yeah, that's never. Like, I've just never understood it. Sociopathic? Well, it's not really being a sociopath. It's like just that, like, if there would be an easier way to do something that I would want to do, then I would do it. I mean, it's really it. I mean, it's not like
only Asmon would have his dream job be stealing catalytic converters.
A lot of there's not really a lot of, like, there's not a lot of thinking beyond that, right? Yeah, that's it.
I don't even understand what he was trying to say with this. I must have missed the point where I don't.
The point's to make money. Yeah, like, I just want the money. Like, whatever gets the money, I just do that.
Goes home. Boo!
Yeah.
And forget about sleep. You might be able to sneak in a quick nap on the subway ride home before you need to show up for your shift, but hey, that's the culture. Did I also mention Japan has the highest levels of working hours in the world, where employees can average 80 hours of unpaid overtime per month? The anime Zom 100 does a really great job at showcasing this lifestyle in their first episode. All this pressure from work, school, and family to fit into your expected societal role, you can see why this bleak overview of the future is causing younger generations to be discouraged.
Yeah, they say, fuck that. Why would I want to do that?
Which has given rise to people adopting a neat lifestyle. Not as in a clean person, but as a not in education, employment, or training person.
I did this for as long as I could. This was great. I was so happy.
See, do you know what I say? Do you guys get what I was trying to say earlier when I said, in the real world, when I step outside, I am a low performance female. Like, I am barely operating in normal society. Like, I use compostable spoons and forks and plates and cups. And I try as often as I can to just get meal replacements because I'm tired of spending time cooking. And I do the bare minimum to function. Like, my makeup routine is 15 minutes because I am too lazy to do more. Like, I am the I'm the low performance male. I'm the low performance female. Like, that's me. Low value female in the streets, high value female on stream. And then in the content space, I feel like a god. I feel like a god in the content space. Oh my god. Like, I'm like at the top of the game here. Like, my hottest take is, yeah, after 2 months of playing video games nonstop, I kind of feel like I need to go outside a little bit for like an hour. Then it starts to get to me. What the fuck? And that's like impressive. That's impressive. Like, what the hell?
Employment or training person.
I did this for as long as I could. This was great. I was so happy being a NEET. Like, I was so happy. It was great. It was so good, bro. Like, why are people defensive about that too? Well, I mean, look, it's everybody. A lot of people are defensive about the idea of, like, they're defensive about the idea of, like, what they're doing mattering. And I understand why. I get why. It's just not something that I feel. Like, I just don't feel that way.
Long-term goals here, just surviving through each day by doing the bare minimum. As long as you have food, housing, and entertainment, then you're solid. A more intense form of the NEET lifestyle is a hikikomori, which is a Japanese word that translates to pulling inward, being confined. This is where you withdraw yourself from society, where you
inward like inside yourself, not inward like Twitter. Yeah. I
basically never leave your home. Described as loners or modern-day hermits, it usually consists of people in their 20s.
This is basically me. Yeah, pretty much.
To late 30s, who are still living with their parents and rely on their support.
In Japan, there's said to be at least 500,000 hikikomori. It's thought that the numbers could be double that because so many of them go uncounted. Most are men 15 to 39.
It's mostly guys. This guy right here, his favorite game is definitely Honkai Star Rail or Fate Grand Order.
This is Tectone if he didn't succeed.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is the Nikkei. Yeah, there you go.
Experts believe that it's a condition caused by traumatic experiences or shame or grief.
Could the pressures of Asian...
No, it's not even that. It's that people grow up being losers. They're not accepted by people in school. They're ugly. They don't really feel like they're part of culture. They don't fit in. And then people don't like them. And then they disconnect from society slowly. And then before you know it, that's where they're at. That's traumatic experience. Well, you could say it's traumatic, but like what I'm saying is that it's
sort of like rich get richer, poor get poorer type of deal. I'm not talking about actual wealth, because wealth obviously plays a big impact, but like you guys are a bunch of fucking commies, so I don't need to explain that shit to you. I'm talking more about the social aspect. When you have one friend, it is 10 times easier to get the next friend. Getting your first IRL friend that you feel comfortable with and hanging out with frequently and whatever, like a homie, that one is going to be so fucking difficult. Social capital, yeah. And then when you have two friends, getting the third friend is 10 times easier. And then the next one is 10 times easier, and so on and so on and so forth, right? It's like, that growth is like exponential. And it takes skill and it takes practice to learn how to make friends. And it takes skill and practice to learn how to maintain friends. And the first one will be the most difficult. And then after you learn those base skills, you can keep getting better and better and better and better and better and better. Right? Try getting that first friend at age 34, I feel lost. I mean, yeah, it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. And the worst part is you have to maintain those skills. I mean, so I have bad social anxiety. Although it's like so much better now. I've talked about this a little bit with Stream, but my anxiety was so bad I almost failed out of school because of it. Where I've had bad social anxiety since I was a kid, and I just never got fucking diagnosed because nobody thought it was, they were just like, oh, she's just shy, ha ha ha. No. No. As it would turn out, bullying has bad impacts on your brain. And I was so mentally ill that I was like going to fail out of college. Because I would show up late to class. I would show up like 5 minutes late. I'd take like the train. It's like an hour commute. I would get to my class. I would stand in front of my door. And it happened once. And then after that, like my brain just like fucking, it melted. Where one time I opened the door to the lecture hall. And then the professor made a joke and everybody laughed. And I wanted to like krill myself. Like it was like, that made me regress like 10 years. And then after that experience, I think it must have happened over 15 times that I would take this fucking long ass hour commute for one class. It was an hour and a half lecture. And I would literally get to the door. I would put my hand on the door, but I was like 3 minutes late. And the thought of opening that door and having all those people look at me and having the professor say anything to me was so traumatizing that I would just go back home. Like I literally was wasting hours a day commuting to go nowhere, just to go home. Like peak mental illness, like very bad mental illness. And, or the common one that I think most people have experienced, you want to order something and you're in a line, but you haven't decided. if I got to the like front of the line and I still hadn't decided, I would just run back to the back of the line until I decided. I would rather wait in the line for another 5 minutes than be forced to pick something on the spot. So like this was my brain. This is where my brain was, okay? Like very bad, very, very bad anxiety. Very bad anxiety. And I started getting better. And I started doing exposure therapy for myself. I was too poor to afford therapy, so I just started randomly deciding I was going to do different things to make it work, to like fix my brain. And I was like, maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. And eventually I stumbled into exposure therapy accidentally. And I started doing that to myself where I would be like, I'm going to force myself to order without looking at the menu first. And it took me so many times before I finally did it. It was like so many instances before I was like, dude, I fucking did it. I did it. Oh my God. And then I remember I had to hype myself up so hard. I was sitting at like, to get food at like a restaurant or whatever. And I was always so jealous of people that could ask the server, is there anything you like? Not at the fucking Cheesecake Factory. Those people are sick. Like a menu that has like 10 items on it. And they'd be like, you know, I was so jealous when I would go out and hang out with friends who would ask the server, like, is there anything you like on the menu? I was kind of looking for chicken, but I couldn't decide between these two. I was like, I wish I could do that. And eventually I did it. I was like, this time I'm going to do it. I failed. I was like, I'll just have this. I was like, this time I'll do it. Failed. This time I'll do it. I failed. And then eventually I did it. And I was so fucking proud of myself. It was like I beat an Elden Ring boss. Like I was so fucking proud of myself that I could ask the server for a suggestion. So my shit was cooked. Like my brain was fucking fried. It was not good. And where was I going to go with this? Oh, you have to work on that shit. You have to want to get better. And you have to be willing to fail and fail and fail and fail. And when you're already dealing with the stresses of life and paying bills and having kids or having kids, you know, medical insurance, medical debt, like all that shit, why get better for who? For yourself. It weighs on you so much to the point where you're just like, I give up. And it's so hard to keep trying. It's so hard to keep trying. But for me, I think the only thing that saved me is that I'm a very competitive person. And I was mad at the notion. Like I was mad at my brain. I was mad at my brain because I was like, other people can fucking do it and I can't do it. I want to be those people. I don't want to be this person. This person fucking blows, dude. This person can't do shit. This body sucks. His brain sucks. I want to be that. I can do that. Ranked functioning in society ladder. Yeah. But it takes a lot to want to get better. And when you just fall down the shitter over and over and over and over again, the farther down you fall and the more bad experiences you have, the harder and harder it is to climb out of it. And the people that end up doing this shit, the people that end up becoming like Kokomoris and just like NEETs or whatever, they fell down the ladder too many times. And the idea of climbing, it's like they're trying to scale like 100-foot fucking cliff. The idea is impossible. And the worst part is, just because you got better doesn't mean you won't get worse in the future. Because then COVID came along and I was in such a good place. COVID came along and I literally lost all my social skills. Like I was a robot. Like I have friends today that were like, dude, you've improved a lot in the past since COVID. You were a little bit awkward when I met you. I was like, makes me feel bad, but also good at the same time. Because I was right that I was cringe, but like I guess I'm less cringe now, so thanks. And so at this point, I have like state mandated recreation with other people time. Like I hang out with other people at least once a week so that I can retain those social skills. Because I worked too hard to get them back. I worked too fucking hard. So I don't want to lose them. So I'm like, this is my mandatory socialization. Okay. This is my mandatory anxiety socialization. So I can stay like a normal human being. But it's hard. It's fucking hard. And when you have nothing, when you have, or what feels like nothing, when you have no friends or very few friends, when you have like a career that sucks, when you have family that sucks, when you have all this shit that sucks, it's the cliff that you have to scale gets taller and taller and taller and taller. And at a certain point, any human being gives up. They're just like, I can't fucking do it. To be clear, guys, I started small when I was trying to socialize. I would do this thing where I highly recommend it. I would join random Discord servers, like random public Discord servers. And I would be like, because once you make a fucking Sockbucket account, join a random Discord server, hop in voice channel, and your only goal is to say one sentence. And then if you cringe at what you said, you leave that server and never go back. On to the next one. And if you don't cringe and people are having a good time, you keep going. And then once you cringe at yourself, you fucking close that shit, you never come back. And that's what I did. Because I wanted to get better. I wanted to fucking get better. And the idea of going and talking to people in real life was so terrifying and traumatizing to me that I was like, I will start small. Talking in VC with random people that will have no impact on my life in servers that I don't know anyone in there. And my goal is just to say one sentence. And it worked. And I got better. I fucking got better. So anyways, yeah, that's just like my story and how you have to want it. You have to really, really, really want it. What did you say? A lot of cringe shit. I don't know. People are talking about some game and I'm like, dude, that game fucking blows dick or some shit. And it's so low stress because you never have to see those people ever again. You literally never have to see those people ever again. You can choose in that moment to forget that it ever happened. But anyways, yeah, you have to want to get better and you have to have at least like one or two things going for you and you have to really want it. And if you don't want it, you just fall into this because it's scary. It's fucking terrifying, dude. You cannot become Tim Walls at Sandwich Shop if you never are JD Vance at Donut Shop. You have to be JD Vance at Donut Shop enough times to become Tim Walls at Sandwich Shop. I know. And it's a scary thought because who the fuck wants to be JD Vance? But it's what you got to do. Best sentence I never thought I needed to hear. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Anyways. Dude, this video is so fucking long. This video is like 20 million years long. Let's watch a little bit more.